Hi friends! I wanted to talk to you about how I painted my wood floor. Now, back about 9 years ago, we put in this tongue and groove pine flooring, wide plank, and initially I wanted to paint it, but Pop said, let's go ahead and stain it, because if we paint it, we'll never be able to stain it. So that's what we did. I've lived with it for 9 years now, and I'm just tired of it, and I want to paint it. So I've been practicing with colors in the closet, as you'll see from a previous video. I found my color, and it's time to get started. Now, I started with sanding the room, lightly sanding it, so that it would rough up the surface and the primer would stay. My initial plan was I'm going to do half the room completely, and then I'll move the bed over to that side of the room and do the other half, because I didn't want to have to move everything out of my room. Well, that was a bad plan, because this is so much work. You really just want to do each step completely and be done with it. So after sanding, there was a lot of cleaning. I had to wipe down baseboards and the door molding, and it was a good time to just really do a deep clean on the room for sure. But at that point, I decided I was going to move the bed out when Pops got home. So I continued my process by painting the primer on the edges of the room and doing the grooves in the floor. And then I would wait until, here he is, Pops is here, yay! We moved everything out of the room, sanded the other side of the room, cleaned it up, and primed that night. It was really a big mess. You can see all the dust flying. Prior to painting, I wiped everything down in the room, and I left those curtains up because I was going to take them down anyway, get new curtains. But I was so glad Pops was there to help me. I don't like having a house in disarray, but this was inevitable. We had to have a mess in the house. You'll see our living room here in a future shot. But he's doing a great job, because I was just exhausted from this full day of sanding and cleaning and putting the primer down. Like I said before, if I had to do half of the room and then the other half, I don't know if I would have finished it, because I would have been dreading it. But in the end, we made the right decision to get the whole room done. He's such a good hard worker, that Pops. Here's our living room. It's a disaster, but at least we had a place to sleep. We were happy with that. Day 2 was paint day and prime day. So, well, actually, no, not prime day. That was the primer. Then I was putting the paint on, taping off the floor so that I could get the floor and the baseboards. They were going to all be the same color, which it looks really good. So I painted on approximately 2 coats. I had to hit the crevices with a paintbrush and the edging with a paintbrush, which wasn't a problem. It was just a lot of squatting. It was a great workout. After 2 coats of paint, I did 2 coats of polyurethane top coat in a satin finish, which gives it a beautiful finish. I love it. It was advised to me to do a polyurethane finish so that it would keep the wood from chipping or scratching. It may do that eventually over time here and there, but it's really held up well. I rolled the polyurethane on after the paint dried, 2 coats of paint, and it just looks so good and it feels so good under my feet. I love it. And this is what it looks like. This is what it looked like immediately after. Looks beautiful, I love it, but I ended up getting a new rug and I got new curtains and even a new mattress. So it's like a new room, and to me it just looks refreshing. It's just crisp, clean, and it feels so good. It just brightened the room up and it just doesn't feel so dingy. I felt like the room was dingy with the dark floor. I love it. I would do it again, even though it was a lot of work, and I highly suggest painting your wood floor